Good evening. Today, I'd like to address a question that sparks a lot of debate, concern, and misunderstanding in the medical world. Is autism an epidemic? At first glance, it might seem like the answer is an obvious yes. Over the past few decades, the number of autism diagnoses has risen dramatically. In the 1990s, autism was estimated to affect only 1 in 2,500 children. Today, the CDC reports that about 1 in 36 children in the US is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. So what's happening? Is autism truly spreading like a disease, or is something else going on? The word epidemic in the medical world usually refers to the rapid spread of an infectious disease among a large number of people. Autism, however, is not an infectious disease. You can't catch it like the flu. It's a neurodevelopmental condition, which means it affects how a person's brain grows and processes information. So, calling autism an epidemic is misleading. It makes it sound like autism is a dangerous condition that's suddenly appearing out of nowhere, something to be feared or stamped out. But that view misses a critical part of this story. The rise in autism diagnosis isn't necessarily because more people have autism now than before, but instead, we've gotten a lot better at recognizing it. It's not a disease or anything wrong with the person, but rather a different way of thinking, understanding, and processing. Decades ago, many people on the autism spectrum went undiagnosed, or were misdiagnosed with other conditions, or were just simply brushed off as having weird and different personality quirks. The definition of autism has expanded to include a wider range of behaviors and challenges, including what we call high-functioning autism or Asperger's syndrome, which no longer is considered a separate diagnosis. Doctors, teachers, and parents are more aware, screening tools have far improved, and there's less stigma around seeking a diagnosis. All of this leads to more people being identified, not necessarily more people being affected. But why does this language, epidemic, matter? Because words shape how people feel. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. That's from Proverbs 15:4. This scripture tells us the words we let out of our mouths affect our thoughts. When autism is framed as a crisis or a tragedy, we risk marginalizing the very people we should be supporting. We risk focusing only on how to cure autism rather than how to understand, include, and accommodate people with autism. Today's world has been progressing in attempting to get the public to better understand the way people with autism live. An example of this is the recent show Love on the Spectrum. This show takes the regular modern concept of dating shows and gives people on the spectrum an opportunity at that experience, while also giving the world a really cool look into their lives and an opportunity to recognize the normalcy of their existence, but the uniqueness of their minds. That's not to say autism doesn't come with challenges. For many individuals and families, it does, especially when support systems are lacking in our modern world. But those challenges don't mean autistic people are broken or less valuable. Autism isn't a disease, it's a different way of experiencing and interacting with the world. So, instead of asking, is autism an epidemic, maybe the better question is, what can we do to better support autistic people in our communities? We can start by investing in early intervention and education programs, by promoting inclusive classrooms, by listening to autistic voices, because yes, autistic people can do and do speak for themselves, and perhaps more importantly, by changing the narrative. Not from fear, but from understanding. Let's stop using the language of panic and start using the language of progress. Because the truth is, autism is not an epidemic. It's part of the human experience, and when we embrace that, when we recognize the richness and diversity that autistic people bring to our world, we'll all benefit. Thank you. This is a critical part of the story. There is
Good eve.
Good morning.
Do your video, you freak.
Lads and lattices. Lattices? Is that a thing? Lad. You can't catch it like the flu. It's a neurodevelopmental.
Developmental.
Develop.
Okay, film.
Okay, develop. Dang it. Neurodevelopment. Neurodevelopmental.
La 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 lava.